great.
Jets! 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 Jets!
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. 78 degrees, Jets football, and we're winning. That's what's going on today. That's why everybody's so psyched. This isn't no happenstance. This is a guarantee, just like Joe Namath said. See that?
There are few things in life you cannot put a price on. Loyalty, tradition, fierce passion. Today is a gigantic family reunion because finally, they're back.
Well, hello, everybody. Who's in a good mood like I'm in a good mood? Look at this little face. Look at that. I got a little face problem tonight. He's going to hide between my microphone and the corner of the screen. That is GreenBean, as you know. Most of you say hello. It's good to be here, guys. I'm in a good mood. I just hung out on the JetX stream. I was watching my son's football practice, and I just realized I was like listening to the radio, and then I realized it was live, and it was Nanny and Blewett, and we talked about everything, and I hung out there. So I'm all jetted up, man. I'm ready to go. I want to bring on our special guest for tonight. Most of you already know who he is, but if you don't, this is Ali from Loyal New York Jets fans. He runs all kinds of giveaways and meetups with Jets players. He also works for ESPN as well. Very impressive fella, and I always love to talk to him. So let's bring him on right now and say hello to Ali. What's good, bud?
Good. I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, dude. Did you hear the news?
I did. I did. I can't be more happy right now.
Yeah, I didn't think it would happen so quickly. We all kind of started talking about it last week. We were all like, we got to ink this guy soon. We got to make sure we don't lose him. And then like days later, Joe Douglas taking care of one of his own. What do you think of that?
So the thought process is that fans around the league are going to be not going to think of this as a big deal for any, like this is just a underrated signing or whatever. But this is actually showing like a organizational shift for the New York Jets. I mean, for the first time, they're bringing guys that they think are young and talented, and they're bringing their own core. They're making their own football team. And, you know, we're going to see this happen throughout throughout the offseason, that they're going to be trying to bring guys that they brought on the roster because they believe they can build an entire football team for years to come with these guys. Right. And Franklin Myers is the first one to get it because this guy has played his butt off in the last 4 games. I mean, he's up there with Bosa with the pass rushing, and he's probably been one of our best players the last 4 games. So he definitely deserves it. But like the transition of what Joe Douglas is doing now, because this is his first extension, you know, of his career as a GM. So, you know, people are like, why are like he never re-signs his guys because he didn't have any guys. He was getting rid of all of freaking Mike McCagnon's crap. Now he has his guys that he trusts, and John Franklin Myers has shown up so far this year, and he paid the man. So this is something that they're trying to build. They're trying to build a nice core in New York, and this is one step in the process.
Dude, I love how you put that. The truth is, and I've been talking to people about this for a while now, when people bring that up, that he doesn't take care of his own guys, when is he going to extend one of his own guys? The truth is, and you just nailed it, is that none of these guys were his guys. So why is he extending? I mean, he's given certain guys the chance to become his guys, a la Marcus Maye, Foley Fadukasi, Quinnen Williams, and some others, giving them the chance. They're still here. But the truth is that they were Mike McCagnon's leftovers. And for the most part, we've basically cleaned the house of most of what Mike McCagnon did here. And that's all Joe Douglas. But this is the beginning of him taking care of the guys that he brought in that actually do what they're supposed to do. And I think it's a fantastic first one. I can't think of a better guy, honestly. An unsung hero, like you mentioned. A lot of people are going to go, what big deal? JFM, John Franklin Myers. Who the hell is that? They might remember that one thing that he did, which was a strip sack in the Super Bowl of Tom Brady. He got in a couple plays and ended up getting a strip sack, which is all great. But outside of that, he was injured all 2019. He had a kind of a medium effect 2020. So, but for us, we know the deal. 3 sacks. I think he has 6 pressures, a whole bunch of hits, all kinds of stuff. So I think it's a good point, man. This is just the first of Joe Douglas's guys to actually get signed. It's a big deal.
Look, I mean, you gotta love the direction. Finally a direction that like you can trust. It's a different process of what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring their own guys. They're trying to bring young. They're not trying to pay these high paid free agents. They're trying to build their own talent. And there's another guy, Bryce Huff, that they picked up. Joe Douglas has an eye for talent, and we've seen that multiple times. He's not going to hit on every single guy. Like, it's impossible to do that. But he's hitting on most guys that are impacting this game. The Jets have injuries all over the field, on defense especially, but they're still producing every single week. They had 7 sacks last week, for God's sake. I mean, it's amazing what they're accomplishing with JD at helm, because he's trying to figure out how to make a football team. Robert Salah is trying to figure out how to be here for so long and create a dynasty in New York. And that's how this is going to happen, by signing these guys during the season, giving them a boost, and giving the other guys confidence that these guys are giving out contracts. If you play well, you're going to get a contract. And a lot of these other guys are most likely going to get a contract on this defense, because all of these guys are playing lights out.
That's it, man. And that's the thing, like crying, whining to the media, writing articles, all that stuff. Joe Douglas doesn't reward that. He's not going to grease the squeaky wheel. You do your job. You do it the right way. You keep tight-lipped. As we know, Joe Douglas doesn't exactly negotiate through the media. Nobody even knows what the hell he's doing till it's done. This is the way he works. And it's really nice to see it start to benefit someone, because I really do believe that this is the beginning. And he's showing, just like you said, man, if you do the right thing, you play hard and you're effective, and you just come to work and, lunch pail, blue collar type of guy, you're going to get paid. I can't wait to find out the numbers. I saw that Watu K99 said he thinks 42 million, 24 guaranteed. Let us know if that's confirmed. But let me take a second and say hello to everybody. Again, we have Watu K and Jeremy in the background helping us out. We'll say hello to them throughout the show. We also have Steven Engel and Joseph Schwert. They're both here. Joe wants to be a guest. Joe, reach out to me. I just got to see it. I'm a looks guy, so it's all about looks. You have to be a certain level of ugly. You can't, right, Ali?
Yes, sir.
So hello, John Post. The postman is here. Phil Adams checking in at 2 a.m. from the UK. He's too excited to sleep. He can't handle it. The game is coming. Now, Ali, I'm not sure if you saw what I posted all over social media, that Jets Jack flag. Did you see the flag I posted?
No,
it's like a British flag that's green. Well, I'll show a picture of it in a minute. But Phil Adams made it, and he has seats front row behind the Atlanta Falcons bench, and he's hanging this huge Jets flag that's, the British flag painted green with all the Jets logos on it, letting them know you're in Jets country. So we're going to look for that on the screen. I'm excited for Phil. It's so cool, man. I'll show you a picture of it in a few minutes. Jets Forever is here. Eminon's back. What's up, guys? Hey, Boy Green is in the house. What's up, Boy Green? Good to see you. That's right, JFM. Boy Green was talking about JFM and re-signing him just Tuesday night. We were together, and he made a big deal about it. That we need to sign JFM as soon as possible. And look, you're a little bit prophetic. Frankie from Flatbush, Big Green's in the house. Carmelo Alboro's Way is here. Mark R. Big Green, I already said that. Dino Angelini. That's right, man. Watu-K, Eminon, all the guys. Let's see who was first. I think Steven Engel. No, Steven Engel wasn't first. Was it Rockaway Archie? Oh, it was Bismo Charismo from way down under. He was first tonight. And everybody's here. And guys, I sincerely appreciate your presence. We have a nice game on. Seattle Seahawks. Hopefully Matt Stafford can light them up. I would love to see a touchdown or 6 right on Jamal Adams. Wouldn't you like that, Ali? Are you rooting for the Seahawks to lose here or what?
Yeah, so I have a lot of fantasy stuff in this game. I have Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Lockett, so I'm going all over for
Oh,
this game right
right.
now. But
Even more
yeah,
so.
but I'd rather have the Stafford touched. I think he threw a pick already, so that's not good. But
No, that's not good. But we're still rooting for the Seahawks to lose. So,
yes,
is there a
Seahawks
score?
need to lose. Yes.
Well, yeah, Seahawks to lose. Right. Okay, so I see that we do have a super chat. I want to get to that right away. From Salty Nuts Nalty himself, JFM took a Titan O lineman and hurled him like a rag doll into Derrick Henry for a 2-yard loss. Beast. Did you see that play, Ali?
Yes, I did.
What do you think of that?
He's a beast. That's why he got paid. That's why he got paid.
Probably
I
that
mean,
play.
that's look. He's just an animal. He's a guy that came into the league. People thought he was just gonna be a backup for the rest of his career, and now he has a scheme. He loves a scheme with Robert Salah. He found a place to be, and now he's excelling. You know, he's excelling more than we thought. And now that you think about it, and you're like, what if Carl Lawson was there? What if Vinny Curry was on the field? Look at the impact these guys would have. Derrick Henry is a monster. And he was taking him down easily. CJ and all these guys were taking Derrick Henry down. And that's a hard task to do, especially if you're that young, you know, and just Derrick Henry is a different animal. So like making that tackle on him, it says a lot. It shows the fight in the team. It shows the energy in the team. And that's why he brought in, because he got into a leadership type role when Carl Lawson went down. He had to step up big time for this defense, and he did. And that's why he's getting paid right now. And the Jets have a lot of leaders on the defense just out of nowhere in the 4 games.
Dude, that's such a good point, too, that when Carl Lawson went down, John Franklin Myers took a leadership role. And I'm actually going to show something right here. You just reminded me. And this is right in line with what you're talking about, John. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I'm going to show you a tweet from John Franklin Myers that I stumbled on earlier looking for contract numbers. Let me see. Can you guys see that? So watch this tweet. You see right here? He says, I got smoke for whoever want it because I'm running to it, never running from it. I am my brother's keeper, number 58. What do you think he's saying there, Ali?
I guess.
Well, 58 was Carl Lawson, right?
He's playing for his guys, man.
That's it.
They are playing for their guy, their leader. It's heart, man. It's the locker room, that culture that the Jets desperately needed after the Gase era, where pretty much the locker room, they had no locker room there. And these guys have fuel in them. They have fire in them. They're ready to go out there and prove people wrong. And that's what they did this past Sunday. They proved everyone wrong and went out and balled out. And they've been doing that the entire season so far. So, I mean, I love that they got the job done this quickly, and Joe Douglas did it during the season. That shows a lot of, like that GM cares about his players, because Robert Salah preaches his players, right? He's preached his players. I love my players. I'm going to take care of my players. And they are taking care of their players. They're paying them. They're letting them ball out. They're letting them do their own thing. CJ Mosley, they're letting him lead the defense, stuff like that. They're letting guys step up into the roles that they never thought they would be in. And now they're excelling at what they do. So,
dude,
look, it's perfect. It's a perfect scenario. And they're just going to get better and better. They're just going to get better and better.
That's such a great point, man. And like going from the Adam Gase era, where just like you said, man, it's like it was just lifeless. Remember that play? And I always point to it. There was a touchdown. We were like on the 3 or 4 yard line. They ran in. We scored a touchdown, and no one even raised their hands. Mekhi Becton was the only guy. They just scored the touchdown, got up, and walked back to the sideline. Like, if that doesn't epitomize a lifeless offense, a team that was completely disengaged, disconnected, no leaders, that's it right there. So it's so nice to see that. And that tweet from JFM basically acknowledging, like, I'm doing this for you, like preaching what Carl Lawson was preaching. Remember that episode of Jets Drive where Carl Lawson was saying all kinds of stuff. The whole team, even CJ Mosley, they were gathered around him. He was fast becoming the emotional leader of the team. And to lose him, you can see that just created a scenario where other guys stepped up. They didn't walk around with their tails between their legs. They said, here we go. It's my turn to lead. And I love it, man. We have a bunch of blue collar, lunch pail, go to work, get it done, high character guys. And that's the team that Joe Douglas is building. And I couldn't be more excited. Think about this. When we pay JFM, Quinnen Williams, Foley Fadukasi, and a couple other guys, like we'll pay them because the defensive backs and the receivers and all the young guys, they're not even going to be up for their contracts until this money's done. Like we still have those guys for 4 more years on rookie contracts. Brandon Eccles, Michael Carter II, Bryce Hall, and on and on and on. Javelin Guidry and Jamie and Sherwood, all these guys. We're not going to have to pay them for a long time, and they're producing. So I think now's the time. Get these guys paid. Quinnen Williams, Fadukasi next, and it'll be awesome. Who do you think's going to be the odd man out on our defensive line? Like you got Foley Fadukasi, Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins, Nathan Shepard, Jonathan Marshall. Who do you think maybe gets squeezed out there? Do you have any ideas?
Probably Nathan, because I feel like Nathan Shepard hasn't done much. He had some pretty bad penalties the last couple of weeks that cost them a lot of, and like it could have been like a game-ending stuff and like punting, but his stupid penalties pretty much killed us. But I think it's probably Shepard. I think he just hasn't lived up to what we thought he would be. At least he was effective for a couple of weeks, but then he just comes back and just plays terribly. But like especially he's just been hidden because of all these other guys stepping up. Because like Foley, Bryce Huff, all these guys are stepping up on the defensive line, the linebacker crew, and no one's really thinking about Nathan Shepard because he's not really out there anymore. But yeah, he's probably the odd man out for sure because all these other guys are performing. They're getting sacks. They're getting to the quarterback. They're winning their matchups. I mean, all these guys are winning their matchups on the offense. Like they're winning. They're not maybe getting to the quarterback every single time, but they're winning their battles. They're getting to the pressure. They're getting to the quarterback's head, and that tells you a lot. Sometimes that is more effective than quarterback hits because you're getting to the quarterback. Quinnen Williams, the last couple of games, he didn't really have that many sacks, but he was getting to the quarterback. He was getting in their face. He was all over the place. So, I mean, Rankins has also been doing that. Foley Fatukasi has been also doing that. All these guys are stepping up, man, and this defensive line, even this Sunday, is gonna have so much fun going against Matt Ryan. They're gonna just crawl over him. Like we're gonna talk about that later, obviously.
Yeah.
But this defensive line is growing together. They're building together. They're working as a team, and they're creating a force that we saw in like 2010. That defense would attack the quarterback. The secondary would do whatever they can to win football games. That's what they're trying to establish in New York now again, is that defense, bring their own guys in, the young guys who are ready to go, underrated guys that are ready to fight every single play, winning their battles and getting to the quarterback. And maybe it doesn't lead to sacks like Bryce Huff last week. He wasn't getting all the sacks, but he was literally at the quarterback every single play. He was around the area. Every play you saw Bryce Huff celebrating over there because he was already over there. So it's awesome. It's really awesome to see how developed this defensive line has gotten. And I think they're just going to have another great game this weekend.
Yeah. And it's only the beginning, guys. Mm-hmm. This is only the beginning. I honestly believe that if Carl Lawson and Vinny Curry were a part of this rotation, I'm telling you, we would end up having the most fierce defensive line in the NFL. I believe that. I still think that we're going to be up there. I really do. So Salty Nalty, thank you for the super chat. Awesome play. John Franklin Myers, like you said, beasts, and I could not agree more, man. So we got some other guys. Eric Craig is here. Jets Gang, Terry Monroe, Jets Mess, Joe Campione. All these guys jumped in. AC, Matt Simon, my old good buddy from the Greenhouse days. So we're having a good night. I love having you guys here, man. I wanted to get to this other super chat before we start jumping around. From Slaugo. Slaugo, you didn't say anything. Let me see. I see another comment from you, but thank you, sir. I'll get to this comment. The experiment is going two ways. One way, we're already used to it. The other is beautiful. Heads up, folks. The experiment is going two ways. One way, we're already used to it. I'm going to be honest, Slaugo. I don't know what Ali, you know what that means? Can you figure that out?
One way we're already used to it. The other is beautiful.
Tough. Try again, Slaugo. We're stumped. So maybe there's one little word that needs to be in there. Let us know again. So Kyle Phillips is also there, I see. That's right. I forgot about him. So interesting. So, guys, I also wanted to talk to you guys. I want to thank you. I see quite a few comments right now about the channel. Yes, I'm just about to or have already just hit 4,000 subs. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My goal is 5,000 by the end of the year. That's my goal. I started this channel on December 27th of 2020. So I'm really going to try to make a push. If you guys haven't subbed, I would really appreciate it. If you have, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. I have a bunch of giveaways that I'm going to announce on Monday. Some new Ain't No Happenstance t-shirts and some Manscaped stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff to give you guys. I'm really psyched about it. But thank you. I appreciate you subbing, and I appreciate you guys mentioning it and supporting. I couldn't be more grateful, man. This has been a great year. I never imagined that I would do this. I just thought I would have a couple subs and just kind of bebop around. But this is great. And I get to hang out with guys like Ali and Jets Media and Jets Talk 24/7 and Matt O'Leary. But somebody said Matt O'Leary is stepping on my toes. So what is this? What does this mean, Eric? Is Matt out there being mean to me? What happened? I can't imagine it. You know what that means? I don't know what that means. So I don't know. So Carmelo says this: the culture has officially changed. Even Mims not playing said they forged a brotherhood. That's all leadership. So what do you think about, did you hear Mims's quote today? What do you think about that? What do you think about Samini, and what do you think about Mims and the whole situation with him so far?
I think he's handled it as a professional. He's handled it with class. He's handled it with, he is a young player. But, you know, as a young player, you want to be out there. You see Justin Jefferson, all these top guys going out there and balling out, and he pretty much is in the doghouse in New York. And, you know, the way he's handling the media, you know, with Samini asking him, you know, the reporters asking him about getting traded, you know, what if you want to go to another team and stuff like that. And he wants to be here because people are actually trusting the coaching staff in a way. You know, they're trusting the process. They're trusting the guys in the locker room who are, you know, with him every single day. And, you know, I think for Mims, he just had to keep his head straight. You know, he has to keep it, you know, his positive mindset and just keep going because he has guys that he trusts. He said that, you know, Jameson Crowder, Corey Davis, you know, all these guys are Keelan Cole are like helping him get through this. Because look, he might not just be ready. You know, we never know because yes, last week the team looked pretty good. You know, they were out there making plays. Maybe he's just not ready. Maybe he is, and you know, maybe they're just saving him for some other time. You know, that's what there is. When he comes out there, he'll be ready to go and be a full polished receiver. You know, we just don't know that. So, you know, you got to keep the trust in the coaching staff and what they're doing because that's how we just got the win last week. Because of the coaching staff.
Right.
So, you know, I love Denzel Mims. I actually met Denzel Mims last year, his rookie year, before the season started. He's a great dude. He's a humble guy. And now, like, even in media, he's handling the media correctly. He's taking all the questions away to start a story for all these reporters and like media and stuff. And he's just saying that I'm just working here. It is frustrating that I can't be out there helping my team. That's what he's pretty much saying. He wants to go help his team. He doesn't really care about the other stuff. He just wants to be out there helping his team win football games because the first 3 games, the Jets got crushed. You know, they were playing crap. football. So he was just like, why am I not out there helping my football team? So, I think his approach is correct. His mindset's correct. I think he has to wait. It's still a fishy situation to figure it out, honestly. But I do trust the coaching staff and what they're doing. And if they actually have a plan for Denzel Mims and he'll be a better player when he's out on the field, then it'll be worth it for him.
It really is interesting, Ali, because at first I was bent out of shape. I mean, I'm a huge Mims supporter. I loved him in college. I loved him coming into the draft. He was like one of my top 4 receivers in the entire draft. Then when he slid, and then we actually took him, like, I swear, I was like, finally, it's happening for the Jets. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And I thought he played well last year in the time that he had. So when it all started and he was, not really playing in the first game, had 1 catch for 40 yards, then he was inactive for the next 2 games, I was bent out of shape. Like, I got to be honest. But now that I'm thinking about it, and especially after hearing his answer today, because we're hearing stories, Mims is frustrated, Mims this, like, we're hearing those stories. But we heard him talk today, and just like you said, it was all team. He even talked about how sick he really was. He said, I couldn't do anything, man. I was throwing up all day long, and I lost a lot of weight. I could not even read the playbook. I was a mess. So hearing all of that stuff makes me think, just like you were alluding to, it might just be better. Like, we have the horses. Let's just bring Mims up. Let's let him make sure that he's at 100% physically. Let's get him into this, into this offense so he knows it inside and out. And let's just have him on deck. And then if we do lose Crowder, Cole, they're all on 1-year contracts next year. Look what we have on deck. And now he's in the system for a year. He's back at full health. So it's not the worst plan in the world as long as he's not disgruntled, which, hearing that today, took away any concerns that I had when he cut Samini off and said, man, I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. All I'm ready for, thinking about, is the next game. And I thought that was fantastic, because maybe this coaching staff is doing the right thing. It's hard for me to swallow that one. I'll be real honest, because I love me some Mims. But I think, like you said, I think it's really going to be cool when he does come in, because he'll actually be ready to come in. So I think it's a smart move.
No, yeah, I mean, it's tough because we all wanted like that Mims breakout year, and that's what we were all expecting this year with Zach Wilson, Mims going off this year, all this stuff. But there's other guys that are more ready. I feel, I feel like Keelan Cole is better than right now Denzel Mims, because he's an experienced guy. He's out there making plays, and you saw that last week. He almost had a 100-yard game. He's effective as well. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world that Denzel Mims is not out there. But they just have to have a plan, and I do think they have a plan, because I think Robert Salah, for every reason if he does something, he has a reason behind it. I mean, for everything he's said throughout the entire offseason, he's had a reason behind everything. Obviously, Mims is probably a little bit more questionable, and you got to question it a little bit more. But I think they all have a plan for every decision they're making, and they have a actual game plan for everything. So it's just pretty much a process that we got to keep watching and just learning from, and see how he progresses, because he did miss a lot of time. That facts are there. He missed time because he was sick. And, when you're sick and you have all these things, it does affect you on the field and stuff like that. So we just got to wait and see. I think Mims will be fine. Maybe he'll be a better player now if he takes some time and learns from these great receivers. You have Corey Davis there, you have Keelan Cole there, you have Jameson Crowder there. These 3 reliable receivers that are teaching him and getting him through this. So I think that's a perfect situation for Mims, because he has guys that he can trust, and he has, again, like he said, a brotherhood that he can look up to.
Yeah, I see. And I think that's very well said. I want to remind everybody, we are talking with Ali from Loyal New York Jets fans. And also, I could say you're from Jets Media too, right? You're a regular on the shows there as well.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Ali's information is going to be in the description of this. It should be there now. I think I put it in there. If not, he's at Loyal New York Jets Fans on Twitter, on Instagram, and YouTube as well. And let's make sure to support him. He's one of the best, man. I love him. I love having him on, and I'm grateful that he's here. So we have a question, or really a statement from Austin Mattis. He says, I want the Jets to keep Crowder moving forward. He is just so damn consistent for our offense and young quarterback this year and for a few more to come, hopefully. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion by everybody that this is Crowder's last year. A lot of people even thought that he would get traded by now, or at worst by the trade deadline. I think that was a large capacity, a large section of our fan base thought that Crowder was going to be traded, but we at least thought this is going to be his last year. After seeing his impact in that game, 6 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown, but it also seemed to loosen up the other guys too. What are your feelings on Crowder now? Do you think that he's somebody that just, hey, after this year, we can easily let him go? Or do you think we should trade him? Or do you think he's a guy like Austin saying that we should hold on to him maybe another 2 or 3 years?
That's going to be a tough decision because I was never on the, the way where like, we should trade Jameson Crowder and try to get rid of him, because I knew the impact Crowder will have when he's on the field, because he is that impactful. And that's how Corey Davis opened up. That's how Keelan Cole had a game. Jameson Crowder opens everything up because of how talented he is. I mean, he was in the end zone as soon as he got on the field. He's just that. He's just a guy, because the Jets don't have a tight end, right? The Jets don't have a tight end right now. Jameson Crowder is our tight end. He's a slot guy, and he's a reliable target for Zach Wilson. When Zach Wilson's under pressure, he's going to be looking at Jameson Crowder because he's a reliable target on this offense. And, that's very important for a rookie quarterback, a young quarterback, to succeed, to have a reliable target wherever he is. The Jets, like Sam Darnold had Chris Herndon his rookie year. He was a reliable target for him because he was a tight end. He was the guy that would always open in the middle when we need to do a check down. Now, Jameson Crowder is pretty much the tight end for Zach Wilson. That obviously needs to change because we need a tight end. But Jameson Crowder is so valuable for this offense. It's insane. His veteran presence, his playmaking ability, and he's just a reliable target for whenever the down is, how late of the stage of the game is. He will make the catch. He will do whatever he can he's just Mr. Reliable. He's a Jeremy Curley that we used to have. Jeremy Curley used to make those amazing catches on third down. That's what Jameson Crowder is doing. Edelman in New England, Wes Welker in New England. All these guys are like the same, and that's what Jameson Crowder's role is for the New York Jets. Obviously, we wanted Elijah Moore to take his role in the slot. Elijah Moore he's young, he's developing, he's trying to figure it out. That's why Jameson Crowder needs to be out there. So I wouldn't mind keeping Jameson Crowder for another year or two. I really wouldn't, because he's just that reliable. He probably will get a lot more money somewhere else and get a better offer. But if he likes the system, he likes the offense, he likes Zach Wilson, and he wants to stay in New York, I would 100% want to keep him. But the development for him being hit this year, hopefully he develops Elijah Moore for next year. That's what we're hoping, that he develops him as a slot receiver, and then he pretty much takes up Crowder's role. And Crowder pretty much just helps this team grow as a football team and the veteran presence wise for this football team. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Jameson Crowder, but it's amazing to have him on the field because he's just that big of a difference maker.
Yeah, man. And you could see it. You could totally see it. I mean, just having that outlet like you're talking about for Zach Wilson. I mean, it's clear that Corey Davis is Zach Wilson's favorite target. He's always looking for him. But when he was moving around, that Jameson Crowder he's always open. He knows how to find the seams. He knows exactly where to be. And like you said, when the quarterback's in trouble, that's when Jameson Crowder really shines, because he knows how to play that role for his quarterback. He really is an exceptional slot receiver. I think the world of him. And it's funny, man, like, if Elijah Moore can become Crowder and starts to have more of an impact throughout the year, fine. But I think it's a good idea that Crowder is here for Elijah Moore. Somebody, a consummate professional for Elijah Moore to to learn from and really emulate and watch on the field. I think it could only benefit that young man. So I don't know. I think I'm kind of leaning towards hoping that the Jets do keep him for another year or two. Just keep him around. He's so good. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting because, like you said, I think Jameson Crowder is probably going to be able to make more elsewhere than with us, which is what it is, I guess. But anyway,
So
we were.
I think
Yeah.
I have numbers for John Franklin Myers. Someone
Ooh,
from Pro Football Focus, Brad Spielberger, said he signed a 4-year, 55 million extension, 13.75 million per year, with 30 million
wow.
guaranteed.
Wow. 13.75 million a year. How much is guaranteed, did you say?
30 million guaranteed.
Okay.
That's from
Gee.
this guy, Brad Spielberg from Pro Football Focus.
Wow. That's more than I thought. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be somewhere between 10 and 12. That's what I thought it would be. But what does this say about Joe Douglas? Is he afraid to pay people that he really wants around? It doesn't look like it, Ali.
No. I mean, people call him, you know, not spending money. You know, but the thing is that he wants guys that he wants, right? He wants guys that he is building himself. You know, he's trying to build his own team. And now he thinks these guys can step up and produce for the rest of like 4 years. After his contract is over, I believe Franklin Myers is only going to be 29, I believe, and he still can play football. So, you know, look, Joe Douglas is going to pay the guys that work their tail off. He's going to pay guys that are ready to play for this football team and produce on a daily basis. And John Franklin Myers is literally doing that for the last 4 games, and they expect him to keep doing that. So, you know, hats off to him getting a contract this quickly in the season. So he doesn't have to worry about that in the offseason. We have our guy, Jonathan Frank Myers, next year, who has been producing consistently. And, you know, hats off to that. That's a great contract for him.
It really is. Like I said, man, I was thinking somewhere between 10 and 12. Some other guys were going as high as 15. But look, man, when you have a guy that's an effective pass rusher and run stuffer on the defensive line, you keep that guy around, especially young. This is his 4th year. And he doesn't have a lot of road wear on him because he barely played his rookie year, or he played a little bit, but not full season. And last year, or 2019, he was hurt the most of the year. So he's going into like his 3rd physical year. So we're about to hit his prime. So locking guys up for their prime, not like what we're used to, which is going out and grabbing old fellas after their prime to see if they could still squeeze something from the lemon. You know, like this is actually smart. Like, think about it. For once, we're getting someone, and this goes for Corey Davis, Jared Davis, all these guys as well. They're all hitting their prime. And that's the guys you pay. That's when you pay them. I think this is fantastic. And I trust Joe Douglas to work out the numbers. Like, I'm not worried about contracts being a little too large or a little too, I trust them. So this is exciting stuff. What do you guys think? Are you in favor of John Franklin Myers' 13.75 million? You think it's a little too much? What do you guys think? So Christopher Moran says JFM is worth every dime as long as he doesn't go Mo Wilkerson and pack it in after getting paid. It's always my fear. It is, because that's our history. Guys get paid and then they go, I'm done. It happened with Tremaine Johnson. When he came over here, he just said, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. Happened with Mo Wilkerson. And to some degree, it happened with Darrelle Revis. He got that $50 million guaranteed or whatever, played okay the 1 year. And the next year he was fat and lazy and slow and didn't really even try. So we see that stuff all the time. I think it's pretty good. Matt Simon says 13 mil, pretty good. See what else we got here. Johnny P says he thinks it's good value. Let's see. Frankie from Flatbush. What's up there, Frankie? Good to see you. He says he loves it. And Adam S. reminds us the cap is going up this year again, so that's good. This is going to be great, man. Wat2K says fair value. Jeremy Cravat says we can do these deals now because they end before the big ones hit from this year's draft. And that's the brilliance with, like, if it works, that's the brilliance of putting all your young guys on the field now. Dude, don't forget, this is what Seattle did with the Legion of Boom. They had a bunch of guys, 5th round picks, undrafted free agents. Remember, Cam Chancellor was an undrafted free agent. So they took these guys while they were young. They put them on the field together so they could grow and learn and develop together. And then they made the Legion of Boom. So this is exactly what they're doing. And it makes so much sense, man, because just like Jeremy's pointing out, when JFM's money is done, that's when it's time for the new guys. And you can make a decision if you let JFM go or whatever it is. But that's a discussion for 4 years from now. And I think that's so incredible, man. I'm really happy. What do you think of Joe Douglas overall? 2 weeks ago, were you one of the people that were really unhappy with him? A lot of Jets fans were really kind of calling for his head. Where did you stand on that one?
I feel like people just have like too optimistic, expectations right off the gate. It's just how Jet fans are mostly, that like they think that the change is just going to happen right overnight. We got a new head coach. We got a quarterback. Let's go win some football games. No, that was never the case entering this season. The one thing was that we need to focus on our quarterback and just improve as a football team from what we've seen for the last 2 years. It's a process. Now we saw him work on the defense. We saw him do whatever he possibly can to improve the offensive line. How much can you do in 2 off seasons? And to fix a football team, it takes time. There's a lot of contract stuff you need to take care of. You need to get rid of all the mess. They're trying to start brand new, and that's what they're trying to do right now. And starting brand new as a full football team is difficult. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to take a year or two. It's going to take a couple of years to fully reboot a full organization. And so far, I think he's done it pretty fast for it's happening. Offensive line much better. The defensive line is pretty damn good. The cornerbacks are progressing. The wide receivers are there. Like you have your quarterback. It's slowly going to progress because it's the youngest team in the NFL. The New York Jets are the youngest team in the NFL. It's going to take a lot of growing pains for them to actually produce on the field and win football games and be competitive. So as a GM point of view, I think he's done a tremendous job so far. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks still with draft picks, and it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of, especially James Morgan, that pick went down the drain already. So, there's going to be picks. He's not going to hit on every pick, but he's hitting majority of the picks, especially this draft. Both Michael Carters, Michael Carters they're doing amazing every time they're on the field. Quarterback Elijah Vera Tucker, he's having one of the best line. Like he had a great game last game.
Totally,
but it's just overlooked because he's an offensive lineman, so no one's talking about him. But that was a pick he traded up for him and got him. That's good GMing. Then you got Elijah Moore, who hasn't really gone on the field, but there's still a lot of expectation for these guys. So he's getting guys that have potential. They're on the field. They're on special teams. All of them are having an impact on the field, and that's what more can you ask? Like what have other GMs done that Joe Douglas has not? Like you have not seen this many rookies. I haven't seen this many rookies in a long time for the New York Jets that are producing. These guys, these rookies won a football game last time.
Think of that.
Like this defense did something to win a football game. So I mean, these cornerbacks playing Brandon Echols. Who if you ask someone who Brandon Echols is, no one knows who that is. Who's Isaiah Dunn? I don't know who Isaiah Dunn is. Like, who's Bryce Hall? People don't even know who Bryce Hall is. They think about the TikToker that it's Bryce Hall. So, like, it's no one knows who the Jets are, but they're still producing. They're still a top 10 defense right now. And that's what Joe Douglas did. That's what Robert Salah did. They brought a defense. They brought a team that no one knows about, but they're going to be like, in a few years, this is our team, and now you know them. So that's what he's pretty much trying to do.
I love it. And I agree, man. I think, look, we have the most, number one, we're the youngest team in the league. Number two, we have the most rookies playing, starting. Number three, we have the most rookie snaps in the entire NFL. And we're and you can see it. Like, we're developing, we're getting better. And those guys like you, dude, you nailed it. It's like our rookies won a game last week. I mean, that's really what happened. So it's incredible. And like Jets by Jimmy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. He says, Joe Douglas is the best GM we've ever had. Let the man do his damn job. Now, I think that he will prove to be the best GM that we've ever had. Up until now, I still think Dick Steinberg has him. Back in the day, old Dick used to put together some good teams for us. But I think Joe Douglas has the chops, man. I think I was defending him for the past 3 weeks. I don't love every move. Honestly, I think he makes mistakes and he makes misses. But I agree with you, Ali. I think he's a damn good GM and he's doing a good job. And we're just starting to see that payoff. So thank you, Manny Roman, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. He says JFM signing is huge. This signals Jets are no longer in teardown mode. We are truly building this thing. Exciting times ahead. Love the channel, GreenBean. Well, thank you, Manny. I appreciate that. I think that's a great point. And it kind of circles around what we were just talking, but that is an interesting way to look at it. Finally, inking a guy long-term, 4 years, nice chunky contract for a young guy, that does kind of signify that this is the beginning of the build-up instead of the tear-down. Like, we've gotten rid of most of the guys we're going to get rid of. There's still a couple hangers on here or there, but there's no more Henry Anderson. There's no more Darryl Roberts. There's no more Kelechi Osemele and Quincy and Nunwa and all these guys. This is the first one of the rebuild. You think he's got a point there? You think this signifies that more to come?
Yeah. I think what they're trying to do is, the approach of the young type role. Getting the young guys a chance, building the way like a dynasty is supposed to be made, because every dynasty is made from scratch, from young guys. And the Jets have never done that. They go out, our previous GMs would go out and get these top tier receivers, these top tier cornerbacks, these and overpay these defensive linemen, and we just wouldn't produce. We'd win a couple games and then just not make the playoffs. But now what they're thinking is they're trying to make a dynasty. They're trying to make a team that could be, trusted and competitive for years to come. And that's what they're trying to build in New York for the first time, I feel like, in a long time. I feel like I haven't been alive for the Jets that long, but I've seen the history. I've seen all that stuff. Right. And this is the first time I feel like I've heard and listened about the Jets actually building a young core. They're trying to give them a chance to play. You're not going out and getting a cornerback. You don't have to go get out Richard Sherman to be your cornerback 1, your cornerback 2, just to have them learn from Richard Sherman. No, the coaching staff is going to teach them. They're teaching these cornerbacks to play football, and they're playing well. Bryce Hall's locking down receivers. Obviously, he hasn't played like these top receivers yet, and I was looking forward to Calvin Ridley this weekend against Bryce Hall. But whatever, he's going out there and producing, and Michael Carter is playing well. Bryce Huff, all these guys are just going out there and balling out, and they are truly trying to build something special. They're trying to build something that, they can look at and be proud of, and like start something new in New York, because we've seen, especially in the Jets in AFC East, we've seen the Patriots take over. Buffalo's building something. Dolphins are building something. The Jets need to start building something now. And The Jets are finally building something, new and fresh, because we have never seen something fresh like this come out of New York ever.
Never.
Because it's a new mindset of a head coach, the young offensive coordinator coming in, the defensive minded coach trusting his young guys, and trusting young guys boosts these guys' confidence. And that's what they're doing. They're playing with confidence every Sunday. Even if they're losing the football game, they're playing with confidence, and every week in and out, and they're ready to play football. So, that signing says a lot to the team. It says a lot to the players who are looking for a contract this year or for the next couple of years with Joe Douglas at helm. And it also shows that, like, guys like Jamal Adams, Robbie, like all these other signings that he didn't do, I think it was just not for the plan that they had. It was just not the game plan for they had. They didn't want to spend money on this one guy and ruin their entire plan for the future and just take a chance at this. And they're taking a chance with Robert Saleh and these young guys. And so far, so good right now. But, it's awesome to see that. It's awesome to see what they're trying to live up to.
Yeah, totally, man. I think it's really exciting what you're talking about, to like really build a young core. Now, not every one of these guys is going to work out. We don't know if Sherwood is part of the long term. We don't know, if Jason Pinnock is going to be able to make his way in, or if Isaiah Dunn. But we have so many of them right now that more than likely at least a group of them are going to stick long term. And that's all you need to do every year, man. Think about this draft class, how many guys are actually playing. And then there are guys on the second tier that are just getting some time. Like they're just, they're special teams. They're coming in for spot duty and rotation and everything. This is the most exciting thing that we've seen. And we have a rookie quarterback that, man, does he show some stuff. And we'll get into him in a little bit. But it's exciting, like you said. I know, right?
Can't wait to talk about Zach Wilson.
Oh, it's so good. So we have another super chat from John Heibendahl. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for always saying my name. Matt nor Ryan can pronounce it. I'm stoked. Let's go Jets. Yeah, Heibendahl. I don't see the problem, John. I just don't see it. I don't know. But yeah, you're very welcome. I'll say your name forevermore. How's that grab you, buddy? I do appreciate the super chat. Thank you. So Nico has a good point. And this is correct. He's nailing it. He says it's all roses until we lose to the Falcons. And that's a pretty good segue. And we'll talk about using Zach Wilson's performance to really talk about this game. But just to acknowledge his point, if we do lose to the Falcons, it's going to be bedlam again. Jets fans by now, right, Ali?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way that we could lose to them and the fans would be okay? Or is this a must win, do you think?
If the Jets lose, they're going to lose because of themselves. It's that simple. If they want to lose this game and they go in not prepared, it's on them. Yeah, it's not the win is right in front of them. Because I truly think they're just a better team right now. Especially if you put both teams on the field, the Jets are a better football team right now. With the injuries and everything like that. But if they lose, man, it's gonna be hell again. It literally is, because if we win, we go into a bye week looking high. We were 0-3 and we somehow ended up going 2-3 into the bye. And you have a chance of going 3-3. You literally have a chance after the bye with all the rest, you get some help guys back from injury and all that stuff, and you're getting back into normal, and you have a chance to go 3-3 and get back into the season. It would suck if you lose this game. And I don't see them losing this game. I really don't. I think it's just different this year. I just naturally think it's different. But if they somehow lose this game, there's going to be a hell on earth. It's going to be the end of the world on Jets Twitter, Instagram. Right. We're all going to lose followers, subscribers. There's going to be a lot of DMs. There's going to be a lot of different stuff. But the Jets can't lose this game because there's a lot of hype right now. They even created a Twitter account for the UK for the Jets. Like, they're hyped up in UK right now for the Jets right now. That's gonna be a packed stadium of Jets fans.
So I really believe that. I think it's going to be almost like a home game for us.
There's going to be a lot of people there. I've seen a lot of people, and especially when we played the Dolphins, it was packed there. So I mean, they haven't seen us in like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. So they're going to be hyped up over there. There's going to be a lot of Jets fans in the UK this is a must win. And like, this is the perfect opportunity. This is the golden opportunity for the Jets to get back into the season. This is their opportunity to get back to normal. And then when you play against actual football teams that are healthy, you'll be ready, because these games are games that you're supposed to win. Totally. Because like you have a chance of taking a step forward. And besides because the last three losses, they took a step backward and they now look like a football team in general. Now you won last week. If you can win back-to-back games and have a win streak like that, no one thought you would have. Like, imagine having a win streak going into the bye. With heads up high, everyone's being hyped up. It'll be back to normal, and like people will be hyped up for the next following week. So it's a big opportunity. It's a big time game, and they need to win this game.
Yep. Win streak. And dude, how sweet will that 2-week period be? Yep. Winning 2 games in a row, going into the bye, talking all sorts of smack about the Patriots. They just got rid of their best defensive player, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be exciting. Now, on the opposite side, like Nico pointed out, we lose this game, and that is going to suck. 2 weeks of losing to, by many accounts, the worst team in football right now. Lots of talent, but banged up all over the place. If we lose this game, that's going to suck so bad. But I want to jump into this game, but I want to acknowledge one comment so we can kind of get the other subjects off the table here. And I definitely wanted to ask your thoughts on this. Brian Farrell says he's worried about the Maye thing. Now, you know all about the DUI and that he hid it from the NFL, or at least maybe not hid it, but definitely didn't report it to the NFL and to the Jets. So what are your thoughts about where that's going to go? Do you see Marcus Maye being a Jet for much longer? What are your thoughts on the Marcus Maye piece?
I think the Jets are going to be supporting him. Like when Robert Saleh said that he's supporting him, I truly believe he's supporting him because that's the type of coach he is. He's going to get him through it and figure out what's going on with Marcus Maye. He said that he had a conversation with Marcus Maye. He said that they talked it through and they had a long conversation and they support him. The one thing is I'm just worried because it was a couple days ago of his agent going on social media saying that we want, like, the trade deadline is coming up or whatever.
Right.
So he will not say anything anymore about that stuff because of what is happening with him. But that's an interesting situation. I don't know how it's going to play out. I think it just depends on how Marcus Maye and his agent handle it. Are they going to make some noise to get out of here, or are they going to just play it out and see if this is the best opportunity for him? Because if that's the case, I think Joe Douglas will 100% be ready to replace him somehow. Somehow replace him because he obviously doesn't want guys that don't want to be here, and that's kind of what was Jamal Adams' situation, and he got rid of him. I think the same thing with Marcus Maye. So I think it's just a messy situation. We'll just see how it plays out. It is terrible because I do like Marcus Maye. He's a star player, but it's just a weird situation.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because when Marcus Maye, he did a press conference in toward the end of training camp, and they asked him if he still talks to Jamal Adams, and he said every day. So you can see Jamal Adams, the way he left was clearly, not what you want to see. You don't want to see breakups like that. It was probably the messiest breakup in team history. But look on the other end, Jamal Adams, he's over in the Seahawks, a winning organization. He's making $17.5 million a year with 38 guaranteed. So from their vantage point, it could look like this is the way to do things. So his agent has been kind of not quite as bad, of course, but he's been stirring this pot for a few months. Yeah. But now that you see that they've been hiding this DUI thing, I mean, the NFL didn't know about it. So I don't have confirmation, but it gives me the idea that the Jets, didn't know about it too, because the Jets probably would have reported it to the NFL. They're not going to hold on to a secret for a player or something. So now that you see it that way, it really gives me the indicator that Marcus Maye is not, like, his team is kind of slimy. They were trying to aggressively get the money before the NFL found out about this. So if he gets suspended or whatever else happens, if he goes to jail, which is unlikely, but if any negative repercussions take place, they would have already had their money in house. So it just gives me a bad taste in my mouth. And like you said, I like Marcus Maye too, the player. I like him, and he's he's quiet enough. He doesn't seem to make too many waves, but he's allowing his agent to do it, which is the same thing in my opinion. So it bothers me. It really does. It bothers me. It makes me think Marcus Maye is not exactly what we might think he is, and a little bit more shady and slimy on the back end than maybe we hoped and thought. And to me, I think that his life as a New York Jet, while I do agree with you that I think the Jets are going to support him through this. They're not just going to leave him out to dry. But I do think that he's more than likely going to be moved, if not before the trade deadline, because it's going to be tough now. Now he's a 29-year-old safety who has a pending suspension and wants 13, 14 million a year or whatever it is. So that's a little less attractive than maybe he was a month ago. But I think that they're going to probably end up moving him. And that said, I'm really not too worried about it. Look, we won, last week without Marcus Maye, without LaMarcus Joyner. So Tony Oden and Jeff Ulbricht, our defensive backs coach and defensive coordinator, they seem to have a pretty good handle on how to coach these guys and how to put people in positions to succeed. And with our pass rush, if that keeps improving, I don't think we're going to miss Marcus Maye too much. I like him, and I would have rather he just, we inked him and had him here for 3 more years, but I don't think it's going to end well, Jets fans. I think he's going to end up moving on. So it is what it is, isn't it? So we have another super chat that I want to get to. Let me see here. Slaugo, again, just kind of throws it out there. Maybe it's a sticker that I can't see, but thank you, Slaugo. I do appreciate it. If you have a question, I'll absolutely get to it. I'll keep my eye on it for you, but I don't see one attached to it, so I'll just say thank you. I appreciate it. And then we have John Nolte's back. Thanks again, sir. He says, Green Beans Tuesday after hours and Thursday thick of it. Hanging with the Jets fam. Great stuff. Yeah, man, and I'm glad that you hang. This is fun for me, honestly. Like I look forward to this stuff, I mean, obviously, we make videos and we do what we do, but I love the live streams. I love it. I love just like looking through the chat and hearing everybody, and it's fantastic. And then I get to have guys on. Like on Tuesday, I had Boy Green, Paul Esden on. Now tonight I have you on. Next week I have Jack on the show. So I'm like, it's just great. I get to hang out with awesome Jets content guys, and then I get to hang out with you guys in the chat. So I think it's amazing. We have a couple comments on the May thing. So I'll just acknowledge that. And then we're going to start talking about the Falcons game in our second hour here. We did pass the first hour. So Adam S. says, do we get comp picks for him if he stays until the end of the year? I can answer that. And then I'll throw it to you and see if you have any thoughts. The comp pick situation it's not as cut and dry as if a guy leaves, we get a comp pick. Like, number one, it all depends on what contract he signs. It's numerically based and playing time based, all that sort of stuff. So if he signs a good contract, the max pick can be a third, and then it's a fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh, right? So the other thing is, if we buy in free agency, so if we sign guys in free agency, for every guy that we sign in free agency, that erases the potential comp pick from one guy that we lose. So you have to lose more guys than you sign in free agency. And then once you lose more guys that you sign, then it depends on the contract that they sign, and that'll tell you where the pick is. So hoping that we get a comp pick for Marcus Maye as opposed to trading him if you're guaranteed to get something is risky business, because I still think we're in the buyer mode in free agency. We're still going to be bringing guys in free agency as opposed to being like the Steelers or Patriots who lose more guys every year. I think we're going to try to get there. Like, that's our goal, so we can get an extra pick or two every year. But I don't think we're there yet. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Ali?
Yeah, I think the Jets, I think Joe Douglas is what he's doing. He's building, a foundation right now, and now he's going to be buying. That's what he was trying to do. He's trying to build his own guys and foundation with Franklin Myers, obviously, today getting extension. He's trying to build a foundation. Now he's going to go buy some stuff. He's going to go buy some tools for his quarterback, his offensive line, his defense, safety. If Marcus Maye does leave, he'll find another safety, because this defense can adjust to anything, right? We have like people off the streets at safety, and we're still producing, right? We're still a pretty good football team, even with like nobody's on the field. So, especially on defense. So, yeah, you pretty much said it correctly. I think the Jets are doing they're doing it the right way. I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And look, one of the best things that good teams do is they have their pipeline of talent. They have their young guys coming up through the system. They're there for 2-3 years. Then when the high-priced free agent wants to get paid, they let him go. And then they already have the guy in-house that's going to replace him. He already knows the system. So he's already homegrown. And then so he's cheap. You let the guy who wants the big contract go. And then in not having to replace them in free agency, you let more guys leave than you bring in, and they're all high price guys. And then you get comp picks. So like the Patriots get 2 to 4 comp picks every single year. So think about that. Bill Belichick gets 4 extra picks or so every single year. He gets from the 3rd to the 7th round, and he sometimes he gets 2 extra thirds. So you see that the advantage that a team like that has. The Steelers do it all the time. The Ravens do it all the time. So these good teams are smart. They don't go out there and spend all the big money on aging vets. They let their young guys who they've been developing themselves for years, they let them fill the role. They have complete faith in them. They let the guy who wants the big contract go, and then they get free picks. So every year you get, 8 to 10 picks, and you can just keep replenishing your pipeline. And that's what Joe Douglas is doing. So I don't think we're there yet, but I do think that is the goal. Like Joe Douglas has talked about that. He mentioned the comp pick formula, and he's smart, man. So I agree. Good point though, man. It really, I love talking about that kind of stuff. So C Kimball chimes in with a super chat. He says, putting big money on a guy often thrusts him into a leadership role in the team room. I think he is a great guy and will do well. Thoughts? So I'm thinking he's talking about JFM. Mm-hmm. So as far as his leadership, you feel confident that JFM is ready for this kind of more prominent role on the team? You think he's a good guy to kind of prop into the leadership position?
I think he already has. As soon as Carl Lawson went down, I think that's why he got this contract, because the guy, he stepped up in the last 4 weeks. He's a guy that who's consistently been getting to the quarterback, consistently leading the defensive line. And no one thought in 100 years when he got drafted that he will be a leader for a football team, that he will be leading the sacks, he will be leading the charge. And, I think he's developed into that role as the guy. He's the guy that they can trust every down to make a play, every down to be there for the team and just be effective, on offense. So, getting to the quarterback, getting to the running back, and just being involved as a team leader, because, he was in an interview I saw on an article and with the New York Jets, and that he's embracing his role on defense. He's embracing, he's just embracing everything he's gotten with Carl Lawson going. And, that tweet that you just showed earlier in the stream about Carl Lawson's number and all that stuff, they have motivation. They're ready to go, and the sky's the limit. That's what they're saying. The sky's the limit for this defense, and we're going to get better and better as we go. So, it's awesome to see that. It really is. And I think he's ready to take that leadership role, because I think that defensive line has leaders all over that line. Literally all of them. It's just not him. All of them are leaders right now.
That's right. And Quinnen Williams came out like 2 weeks ago talking about people bashing Zach and everything. And he said, no, man, like, you don't talk like that. Remember, he was like, we don't throw each other under the bus on this team. Like, we don't do that. So even little Q, our young baby face Quinnen Williams is stepping up as a leader as well. But I have some breaking news, Ali. This is fresh off the press. Jamal Adams was just toasted for 68 yards.
The game. I'm watching the game too. I'm watching the game too.
My son's over here like this.
Yeah.
So nothing makes me happier. Look, we want the Seahawks to lose on a very logical level. that we get a better pick, the more losses they have. So
Mhm.
clearly, it just makes sense for us to root against them. But on an even better, deeper level, I want Jamal Adams to suck. That's just me. That's the way I do it, Ali. I don't say it's right. I don't say it's right, but that's how I think. I want Joe Douglas's trade of Jamal Adams. We already got
He's right
way
there.
more value.
He's
What's
right
it? Hell,
there.
you got him? You got him there?
That's when I did an event with him when he was a New York Jet. He's over
Yeah,
there.
he was good to the fans. He was, wasn't he? He was a great guy with the fans.
He was at some points, and then sometimes he was just absolute jerk. But
Really? Oh, good.
yeah,
Then I don't
at
like
the
him
end,
again
at
even
the
more.
end, a little bit he turned into. He would just leave.
Ah, douche. So, but it's like so we already got entirely too much value for him. Entirely. But now that they signed him to $17.5 million a year with 38 million guaranteed, I just love when he drops picks. I love when he gets burned. I love it, man, because it makes JD look that much better. Not that I need that. I already love the trade. I think it was brilliant. But it's nice to see, like, if he falters, it's even better. So I love it on that level too. So everybody, Jamal Adams toasted for 68 yards. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And Johnny P says the Jamal Adams trade, Adams and a third for AVT and a first rounder. Not too shabby. Right, man?
Not too
So
shabby at all.
not too shabby at all. So that's exciting. I mean, I think Jason Myers, another one of our former players, keeps missing picks. I'm sorry, kicks. I don't know what that's all about. Are they long kicks? Where's he kicking from, Ali? Do you know?
I have no idea. I think he might have missed an extra point.
Okay, so he missed extra point before. Yeah, Myers is on Seattle, so he couldn't have just kicked because it was the Rams on offense. Somebody's messing me up over here, mixing me all
So
up, and I'm easily mixed up. I just trust the chat, Ali. Sometimes they say stuff, and I go, "Hey," and I just respond, and they're trolling.
Yeah, I
me.
kind of just turned on the game because I just realized it's on Amazon, so I just put on the game. But
Let's see. I got John posting here, but I'll go ahead and take this one off, John. Let me see. Where'd it go? Webcams are back. Everybody, if you want a good webcam show, go to that site. Let me see. Did I delete it? I think I did, right? Did I get it out of there? Yeah, I think so. So Juju92 checks in and says Jamal is a jerk. I agree. Did they throw a flag on him? No. All right. So I can't get too sucked in. My son's all overly excitable. So Adam S says, I'd rather have JFM than Jamal. I actually agree, dude. I mean, I was not I liked Jamal Adams when he was here. I don't want to try to paint the picture that I didn't. I did. I liked him. I had just so much hope for what he could become. But I'm like, he doesn't really impact the game. He's a great tackler, gets some sacks. That's fun. But he's kind of a liability in a lot of ways. And he just literally can't catch. I don't know what that is. But even Sam Darnold tried to give him his first ever interception, threw it to his chest, and he dropped it. So I don't know. So you got another super chat, and then we're going to get into the Falcons game. I really want to get some people's opinions. We'll get into some score predictions. I want to talk about what we're looking at here. We obviously have some news that some more players are not going to be coming from the Falcons. But first, we'll get to Victor Alvarez. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says, we need to root for Seattle to lose every game. Absolutely. Imagine this, Ali. Imagine Seattle like implodes and they get like a top 5 pick, top 10 pick for the first time in 15 years or whatever it is. And it's ours. Wouldn't that be just the best?
Get 2 impactful players for this football team.
That's it. And I'm big on some players already. I really want a tight end. I want a new safety. And I definitely want an edge rusher. I'm thinking our first pick should be in the highest rated edge rusher on the board, the one they like the best. That's there. I haven't dug in too much, but I'm really high on this safety.
I'm trying to
Kyle
stay
Hamilton.
away from. I'm trying to stay away from the draft stuff until at least December this
I
year.
know.
I don't want to start early this year, please. I don't want to start early.
Right, because then you're right, man. It's way too early. Let's try to
Dude.
enjoy the season for once.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
I'm
get
actually
there too.
not rooting for losses this year, so like, I want to win. Like I
Yeah.
want to win. I'm not rooting for losses now, so I'm just trying to like. I'm not even looking at the draft. Like I don't care about the draft. What is the draft?
Well, just that alone, like you said, just the fact that we're not rooting for losses, it's about to be week 5. Week 5, and we're actually rooting for wins. Last year, I was done with the season by week 4. Honestly, I was like, this is gone. This is done. And I knew in my heart that first half of week 1, I'm like, this team is atrocious. Like, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, so this is nice. This is a good one. So, guys, we're going to start talking about the Atlanta game. I wanted to get, Ali already told us that he has the thought that the Jets must win this game. And the reason being that if we go into the bye at 2-3, it's going to be just a season changer. Everything changes for the season. We were 0-3. Now we're 2-3 heading into the bye, 2 weeks to plan for the Patriots. It's a whole different thing and a major boost for the organization. Conversely, if we lose, it's going to be a shitstorm. So I wanted to ask you, now you said we must win, but do you think we're going to win? And if you do, defense, offense, who do you think is going to be the catalyst for a victory?
I think we do win. I think that this team is ready. I think it's finally at a point where they're clicking enough to win this football game. And the way to win this game, honestly, fast start on offense. Zach Wilson needs to come out and this offense needs to score. It's just that simple because I was doing some research and the Falcons are allowing the most passing touchdowns per game so far this season. I believe it was 2.8 per game.
Wait, what was that stat? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The Falcons are allowing the most passing touchdowns per game.
Okay.
So that I believe that was like 2.8 something like that per game. So the Jets offense has a chance to strike twice in 2 weeks, like big time. You're going to have Elijah Moore back. You have Corey Davis. You got Jameson Crowder. You got Keelan Cole. You got your offense out there. And right now the Falcons are lost. Falcons don't know what they're doing right now. And you got to take advantage of that. And especially with the Falcons not having Calvin Ridley, Gage, there's literally no one on the field that can honestly I'm scared of, especially there's just no one I'm scared of on that offense because the defense has been playing so well. If the defense can do their job, get short positions for offense, the Jets have a chance of blowing this game up. If Zach Wilson can play just a little bit of the same of how he played last week, the Jets will win this football game. It's just that simple. If they can just move the chains, just keep doing what they were doing, and just just don't do too much because the Jets always do too much, and then that's how they lose the football game. Just don't do too much. I think Zach Wilson is at the mindset now that he's slowly figuring out the football game in the NFL and how the flow goes because the man's directing traffic like a veteran quarterback.
So
he's doing all these things that veteran quarterbacks do. So I think he has a chance, especially with the Falcons defense is not that great at all. It's not the greatest defense. And the Titans defense was probably better than the Falcons. Falcons.
I would agree.
So he has a chance to go in there, go to London on prime time. Everyone's watching you at 9:30 in the morning and just go rock it. Go in the morning and just in the first half, just finish the game off. That's what you should do because they have a chance to actually do that. So the key of the game is Zach Wilson finishing up the game because I think the defense is going to do their part. They're going to do the 3 and outs. They're going to do whatever they can to keep them in the game. But if the offense doesn't produce, it's going to be a long game for the Jets, and it's going to be closer than we should hope it is. So if Zach Wilson can just do what he's been doing, he did last game, the Jets should easily win this football game.
Yeah, those are some great points too, man. And, I think it's like one of the things you said, that this should really be the game that the Jets come out and actually settle in early. Like, we have not done that yet. Obviously, in our first 3 weeks, only the first game did we even have a second half. In the other 2 games, we were just toast the whole time. And that's where that inability to get a lead thing came from, and all that sort of thing. But if this is the game where we actually are able to come out and maybe even get some points on the board on our first possession, that will mean everything. If we're able to do that, it would show that the momentum from last week is carrying over. They settle down and they're moving in the right direction. Now, I want to stop for a second. There is a lot of news. It looks like Russell Wilson may have broken his finger. Is that accurate? Is it?
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
real?
I think Gino's in.
He bent it.
Both on their throwing hands.
Now, I was going to add, is it his throwing hand? Does anybody know? It is. Yeah. It's his throwing hands. Is it broken? Because look, I want to tell you,
Jamal Adams just missed a tackle again.
Did he? Jamal Adams just missed
Adams just missed a tackle.
Let me see.
On the running back, he literally missed it from the back.
Oh, Jamal, how fun! So, I just want to know if anybody can tell me, and I'll get back up. I have some comments that I want to talk about. So Victor Alvarez says it's a dislocated middle finger and it's on his throwing hand, but we don't know if it's broken yet. Okay. Is he not playing anymore? Look at that run.
We don't know. It stopped. The funniest thing is it stopped right as their drive stopped.
So we don't know. Now, look, I want to make sure I'm clear. I never root for injuries. And I mean that sincerely, not just because it's the right thing to say. Like, I actually would always rather beat teams and play teams and be at 100%. I like good players on the field. Like, that's just what I want to watch. But in the event that Russell Wilson is hurt for any stretch of time, I do not have any confidence that Gino Smith can keep this going. So that would be a positive for our hopes for Seattle to lose.
It looks like Russ
just got burned for a touchdown. How great!
It looks like Russ is warming up on the sideline, so I think
that's getting burned. Jamal Adams is the best. Jamal Adams is the best. We like him not on the Jets. We like him not on the Jets. Well, it looks like Russell Wilson is throwing, so I don't think
he should be fine.
Yeah, and look, that is good news. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league. You don't want to see him go down. But who was it? I had a comment up there. Mr. Moran said, how can you have any faith in the Jets or any trust that the Jets are going to beat Atlanta? He said they have to earn that trust first. And I want to say I do agree with that. Now, having the ability to be positive is one thing. Trusting them to win? No, I don't trust them to do anything. Traditionally, this is exactly the kind of game that we come out and lay a complete egg. Like, this is Jets history, especially the last 10 years. This is the exact game where we come out and are lifeless. That's what this game usually would be. So in the event, or let's just say, if the rebuild and the new culture thing is really settling in, this would be a really good time. A really good time to come out hard and punch them right in the face from the first play of the game. And if we can do that, I'm telling you guys, it signifies a real change. Not, look, if we lose, doesn't mean that it's over, of course, but this is a good time to show up, suit up, and kick the hell out of them, because no, I do not trust the Jets to win, man. It's going to be years before I trust them to do anything.
Look, if they think that it is a culture change, if they think that this is a new football team, they're winning Sunday. That's simple.
Yeah. Right, and that's well said. So I want to bring Adam on. Oh, no problem. So I'm going to bring Adam on. He's got some stats for us that we want to discuss, some Jets and some Falcons. So let's say hello to our buddy Watu-K99 and see what he's doing. What's up, Adam? You good back there?
I am doing just fine. Doing just fine.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sporting. This is one of the old school Virginia Jetsfan shirt right here. Living the dream in 2016. I don't know what the dream was in 2016, but apparently we were living it.
I think that was wasn't that Fitzpatrick's second year, the year that he
Yeah.
totally crapped the bet on us?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for those who don't know, Adam Watu K99 is the president of the Virginia Jets fan club, and they meet in Norfolk, Virginia. Every Jets game, they get how many? 50 to 100 people or something like that usually?
I mean, opening day was about 60 people. Typically, especially after COVID, it's about 30-ish. It was about 20 to 25 core people last year. Now we're up to about 30 or so. When we're having a house party on Sunday, mimosas, Bloody Mary bar. We're smoking a pork butt. It's gonna be an extravagant.
That sounds nice. I
Oh,
like that. So let's talk for a second now. And just so you know, if you have any interest, if you're in the Virginia area, that's the eastern coast of Virginia. If you're anywhere in the area looking for a place to watch the Jets game, I think that would be a good spot to do it. On the 24th, I'm going to be doing the live stream for the game from there with Adam and from the Virginia Jets fan club. We're going to have a live on location stream. So I'm excited for that, but reach out to Watu-K99 if you have any interest. But let me ask you, as far as the Atlanta Falcons numbers this year, like their team numbers, where do they stand offensively? And then we can get to the defense next. But where do they stand offensively? I know Ridley's not playing, Engage isn't playing, but Kyle Pitts, he was my favorite player in the entire draft. Should we be worried about him, or what does it look like so far for them?
Pitts is kind of floating under the surface, and you're kind of waiting for him to emerge above the surface. So far, he's only got 15 catches on 26 targets. That's not a whole lot. I would expect those two numbers to be a lot closer. He's got 189 yards in 4 games, and he has yet to score his first touchdown. He's got as many touchdowns this season as Denzel Mims has in his career. So, the talent is there, the ability is there, and now the focus is really going to be there with Calvin Ridley missing this game. So, I know we got to respect Pitts. We got to be concerned about Pitts because we don't want this to be his breakout. But the big guy that I'm concerned about is Cordell Patterson, because we know how this team does defending screens. For all the praise and all the love we got to give this defense, as great as they've been, as happy as we are about them, I still have visions of the screen passes to number 28 McNichols last week of Tennessee. It drove me crazy. And the thing with Patterson, I'm going to give you some stats on Patterson. Okay, 18 catches on 22 targets. He's got 4 touchdowns already, 5 plays of 20-plus yards. And of his 235 yards, 177 are after the catch. So Those linebackers and safeties we got to cream this guy, get him quickly. Do not let him get an open space. But to give you a DVOA, Atlanta is currently 31st on offense. And I definitely want to give you these DVOA numbers as we go along because I find them very interesting. So,
well, that's interesting. 31st on offense. That's usually where we are. So we could take this personally. They're taking our spot on the offensive rankings. But that's so interesting that you mentioned Cordell Patterson. And look, even in week 1, now it's Christian McCaffrey, so we have that excuse. He's just elite. But the truth is that we've had difficulty with that kind of stuff, with the screens and stuff. And Patterson is very dangerous and having a good year. Ali, do you think our linebackers and maybe safeties are going to be able to contain him, or do you think it's a true danger, something that we could let get out of hand?
It's the one problem the Jets defense has is those short passes that they run after the catch, and that has been a problem for years now. And we saw that with even last week with the Titans. You know, those just dump off to the running back and they run for 20 yards. That's the problem the Jets have had for a long time, and the linebackers as well. So, you know, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. I think the Jets will be able to hold this offense pretty well, and I think these linebackers have been playing pretty well so far this year. We just can't have those plays anymore. You know, like those 3rd and 20, and then they end up getting 4th and 1 because of these like small dump offs, and everyone just missed tackles the entire way for these running backs and just run it through just run almost for a first down. So I think we'll be fine for those purposes. I think the linebackers are good enough. Bryce Huff, CJ Mosley, these guys are going to be able to make those plays. But I feel like at least 1 or twice a game, the Jets are going to have that type of play.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny, like, as I think about it, like Adam was saying that Pitts might be a little bit more focused and hasn't broken out just yet. I will tell you, I've been watching the Jets for a little while now, and we are usually the team that a player has their first big breakout game against. That is our position in the NFL. We've done it for more players than I even can remember. It happens all the time. Somebody who's been quiet, they play the Jets and they have the breakout game that starts their career. That's usually what we do for people. So I'm really hoping that doesn't take place on Sunday, because as big of a fan of Kyle Pitts as I am, I'd like to see him do nothing. That's what I want. Nothing, not a single catch. I'd love to see CJ Mosley lump him up a little bit, maybe. And yeah, so all right. So you think our defense is going to be able to, if we just come ready to play, we should be able to handle them, huh?
Yeah,
I personally do. By the way, did you see what just happened in the Rams Seahawks game?
Yeah.
Well, what, they punted twice.
I've never
Right?
seen that.
That was
And they allowed it. They allowed it. They even called a penalty. I didn't even know that was legal.
So he got the punt blocked, picked it back up, and kicked it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Too. It was a good punt.
It was a good punt, yeah.
I can't believe that's allowed. Wow.
I guess you can kick it as many times as you want if you're the punter. Let me see this again. Hold on. Yep. He's like, why run with it? I'm just going to kick it. It's what I do. Yeah. Magic. I love stuff like that. It's fun. We just watched history. You know, that's the kind of thing that they'll bring back later. They're going to show that play for years. That's one of those plays.
It's just a shame that the Seahawks will be wearing those god-awful lime green uniforms when it happens.
Terrible. That's like, did you guys like our Color Rush uniforms? Remember when we wore those things? They were all neon. Did you guys like those?
I love those. I thought they were great.
They were all right.
Anything. Yeah.
Oh, man. See, I'm such a purist. Like, I like our all white uniform. That's my favorite. All white. And, I think we wore that against Denver maybe, or maybe even last week. I don't remember. No, last week we had the green shirts. But I like white pants, white jersey, straight up, no messing around. Ali, did you like the Color Rush uniforms?
I did, actually. I feel like they're just different. I feel like that's just a memorable game against the Buffalo Bills, and it's like, like that was just like a game that we all just remember just because it was Color Rush, everyone dancing and stuff like that. That was a good night. That was a good night. That was a good football game.
Well, I can understand that. That makes sense. You have that association.
Yeah.
You have that positive. It makes sense to me. But me, as soon as I saw those uniforms, I was like, oh, no, please don't wear these ever again. But, hey, then again, I'm kind of grumpy these days. I'm a little bit.
It always goes back to the blue and gold, the old Titans uniforms. Are you that much of a traditionalist, Greenbean?
No, I'm a green.
Okay, good.
I'm all green. Yeah. I don't like when we wear blue and gold, it bothers me. I'm like, I don't know. It bothers me. I get stuck on stuff like that, man.
Yeah, they usually played well when they wore the Titans uniforms. That was the weird part about it. Go figure. Yeah. So
look, Matt Simon is saying that our defense is 10th. Where did he go? I don't know where it was, but Matt Simon said in there, and we are like top 10 in defense. Is that accurate? Do you have our numbers up there? I haven't been able to look and see exactly where we are.
I guess my question would be 10th by what standard? By yards per game? By points per game? I mean, in terms of yards per game, we're 13th. We're allowing 353 yards per game. With DVOA, we're only 18th. I mean, we're on our way up, but we're not quite a top 10 defense as of this point.
Interesting. So I guess we're floating around. How are we against the run? Do you have those numbers, like run and pass?
Against the run specifically? Yeah, I got those right here. Let's see here. So let's see, yards per game. All right, let's sort this guy right here. So, all right, so that's total 353, kind of right in the middle. So 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. So we're 12th in terms of passing yards against per game on defense, 226 per game. So we're 12th. With rushing, I'm gonna take this one from the bottom. Okay, 20, 30, 27,
Yeah,
20,
especially after last week, because Henry had 157.
Yeah, we're 22nd in rushing yards per game, 127.3. But the other thing to look at would be, I think, is points per game. Now, for those who may not be aware, Atlanta has the worst points per game average on defense. They've allowed 32 points per game.
Wow.
The Jets, on the other hand, have allowed, because you can allow a lot of yards, but if the kicker misses a short field goal, well, you're not giving up points.
Yeah.
The Jets' expensive points are 14th, 23.5 points per game allowed.
Not bad. And, I saw a stat that said that our cornerbacks have not let up a touchdown through the air yet. We only have 2 all year on our defense through the air. 2. And
That's
none
right.
of them were by our young cornerbacks. So, Ali, what do you think of that? Were you concerned about our cornerbacks? Do you think we're like waiting for the week where they get torched, or do you think they're legit?
I said this. Everyone was freaking out all training camp about these cornerbacks, all of training camp, and I was just like, relax. We don't need a Richard Sherman. We don't need a top cornerback out there. These guys, they know what they're doing, and so far they have done what I've pretty much said. I think that the approach was good. It's the young approach that we've been talking about this entire stream. The young approach that they want to give these guys a shot. We all knew Bryce Hall was going to have a great year. We all knew that Bryce Hall has a potential of going out there and making a play. And with Bless Austin getting released, all that stuff, he getting the cornerback 1, and then Isaiah Dunn, all these guys getting a chance of playing out there, and they produce. They're going, and obviously the pass rush of the New York Jets is helping the cornerbacks a lot. That's just common football. If you get to the cornerbacks are going to have more time to adjust, get better, and get in position with these receivers. Obviously, they haven't played the best receivers out there in the world. It was going to be a test for Bryce Hall this week if Calvin Ridley played. Right. And I was actually looking forward to that matchup actually a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
But now, it is what it is. We got to deal with it, and you got to deal with the matchup he has. So now, I think this cornerback, they're learning. They're learning on what. Let me see how. Let me rephrase this. They're learning from not a talented group, but when they are going to go against a talented wide receiver core, they'll be ready. This is pretty much preparing them. This is their preseason. There's extra preseason games for them to prepare for the big guys, the big guns, and be ready for what's to come in the NFL. So I think these cornerbacks are just learning, and they're doing a good job. I give a lot of credit to the defense, the cornerback coach. All these guys are coaching them up, and I think they have a good group with them. They just got to build. They're gonna screw up. They're gonna screw up a couple times this season. We all know that. They're gonna get burned here and there, but so far so good. And I don't think everyone should be happy at what they produce so far.
Yeah, I think it's exciting, man, because like we said, if these guys actually look, if they make it through the year and they end up being good all year, like Ali just said, they're getting better every week. Like they need this time. This is their, this is what they're doing right now. They're becoming the players that they are trying to be on the field. If they end up actually being good, like let's say Michael Carter, Bryce Hall, and Eccles are our long-term cornerback Answer. Dude, we have them for 4 years locked up. We haven't had a defensive backfield for 4 years and 15 years. I mean, seriously, the last time we had anybody for any length of time was Cromartie Revis, and that was for what? 4 years. So it's like being able to have a team together. That's something that we have been unable to do as the New York Jets. We have not had any continuity, any consistency, and that's the most exciting thing to me. And just like Ali said, I was really looking forward to Bryce Hall on Ridley. I really was. I wasn't afraid of it. I was like, hey, he'll probably get beat here and there, but I wanted to see that matchup. But he's not coming, so even better for us. But yeah, I agree. Now I want to just bring up one of the guys in the chat keeps saying stuff. Now, Matt Simon, you keep saying you want me to stop saying things. Now, I don't know what it is, though. I'm trying to figure it out. He says, Greenbean, stop, shut up. And he had a couple comments like this. So, Matt, I'm being sincere. What are you talking about? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking
we can host the A-Team show now. I guess that's what he wants.
Maybe. I thought maybe I was jinxing it. I don't know. At first, I thought he was talking about the Russell Wilson injury. I don't know. Is that Gino Smith?
Gino Smith.
Gino Smith lighting it up with Metcalf.
Every Thursday game, something crazy is going on. Darnold's playing, a division opponent's playing. We got the Jamal Adams Bowl. Now, Metcalf. Yeah, Thursday nights are like fun. I like following these games with you guys is awesome. Really is.
Yeah, it's fun this way. So let me watch one more play from Gino. It's been a long time. Matt also said Gino Smith has been warming up for years. I like that comment. That's funny. Look at that pass. Gino. He's been sitting down for a couple of years, just honing his craft, guys. That's what he's been doing. I love it. Well, I hope Gino doesn't end up looking awesome because that sucks. You know, that's not what we want at all. So talking about the Jets offense versus their defense, we talked a little bit about Atlanta's offense, and our defense looks pretty good matchup wise. But now, do we really think that our offense is going to be able to continue? Like the Corey Davis drop thing was really concerning to me for a while. And then in last week's game, he had the first, the initial drop, then he fell on his face and the interception happened. Then he caught a pass and fumbled it and re-landed on it. But what do we think? Do we think our receivers are about to turn a corner? Do you think last week was real? Like you said, Zach Wilson directing traffic. It was so beautiful. It was perfect. We had 2 passes over 50 yards, 1 for a touchdown. It was amazing. Do you think this is real, Ali, or do you think that we need to temper it and we'll probably see some more sloppy play? What do you see coming?
I feel like it all starts with the game plan, and I think the Jets finally had a game plan that worked on Sunday, especially on offense. I think LaFleur is still trying to figure out what his game plan is going to be every Sunday, and how to adjust his quarterback and how Zach Wilson can get comfortable. When Zach Wilson gets comfortable, everything else will fit fine. It's the truth. And I think that on Sunday, that was the first time Zach Wilson was comfortable doing his thing. He was doing what he did in BYU. He was running out doing his own plays, directing traffic. He was doing whatever he can to win the football game, and LaFleur let him do that. They opened up the playbook for him. They let him do what he likes to do best, and is playmaking.
Right.
Now, because that big completion to Keelan Cole, we didn't think that. If Keelan Cole didn't fall down, that probably could have been a touchdown. It's like those type of little things that, make Zach Wilson so exciting and his ceiling so high. And that's what elevates this offense, because there's a chance that this offense can just boom. Like it could go from the start of the game to the end of the game, and they just completely destroy the other offense because of Zach Wilson's ability to get to the receivers. Now, having Jameson Crowder out there was the difference maker. I really do, because I think he's a guy that is he's the leader of that core. He's pretty much he takes all the pressure off of Corey Davis, because Corey Davis admitted that when he was in Tennessee, he was not the spotlight. And now he's the spotlight in New York, and he's struggling with that. He struggled with the spotlight on him. And now when Jameson Crowder came back, that spotlight kind of went off. And then he went off for a 100-yard game and a touchdown. And he had a career game against his former team. So, I think with Jameson Crowder out there, with Elijah Moore coming back this week, the Jets have a chance of completing this offense this week. They have a chance of gelling it going into the bye week and finding a way to just perform in an efficient level. So the wide receiver core definitely needs a lot more proving to do, but they are very good. I think they are understanding what they need to do as a whole. And the sky's the limit for them. It's awesome to see how this wide receiver has improved from week one, and then seeing how they played last week was unbelievable. Guys catching passes, guys bailing at their quarterback, and they're just communicating with each other. Zach was under trouble. He was, and he still found Jameson Crowder for the first down, like moving the chains. And that's how you win football games. That's how you get it better as a football team. And I think we'll hopefully see more progression, especially with Elijah Moore out there this week.
Yeah. That's, I have to say that I feel good about it too, but that was a really good point about Corey Davis in the spotlight. Like some people, even though quote, number one receiver, some people just, with labels and stuff, they don't necessarily handle it. They just want to go out there and do what they're going to do instead of being like the focus of the offense, the spotlight, as you said. That's actually a really good point. And having Crowder out there, I think it definitely took some of the heat off him. And because, look, Zach Wilson loves Corey Davis. He's going to use him. So hopefully having Crowder out there, another vet, just to kind of take some of that will be to his benefit. Now, I did just see a couple things. One is Gino Smith just threw a friggin' touchdown pass, and a pretty one at that. Mm-hmm. So what the hell's that all about? What the fuck are we watching here? What is this? What is this bad? This is madness. So interesting. It's funny. I saw a comment. It said tomorrow on Jets Twitter, everybody's going to be saying that we shouldn't have gotten rid of Gino. Yeah, you know it. There will definitely be some of those comments. Definitely. I wish I could find the comment. I just saw it. Anyway, I'm sorry, whoever it was. I my bad. But so the other big news is that Matt told me what he was talking about. He said, I was talking about the Jets reverting back to the old ways. Don't say it, Green Beans. Okay. I was talking about traditionally Pitts would have a breakout game and we would lose this game, all blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I'm sorry. I shan't discuss that again, Matt. I agree with you. I'm not going to do it and jinx us. So Nico chimes in and says, Gino better than Wilson. See, that didn't take long. That's all it had to. That's
Russell
all one touchdown. Yeah. So it is what it is. But
which Wilson is he talking about?
Oh, maybe he's talking about Russell Wilson. Either way, it's wrong. But I thought he was talking about our Zach Wilson. But that's funny. Yeah, they both have the same last name. So, yeah, right. Look, Frankie comes in and says, Russell who? That's it. He's going to take his job. He's going to take his job. They're looking to get cheaper. If Gino Smith comes in and lights it up and they just, hey, Russell, we're going to let you take a week off and he does it again, they would love to move on. I'm telling you, they would love it because he's expensive. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's dreaming. But so, Adam, before we kind of move on and let you go, what do you see? So Ali had some really great answers about our wide receivers and what our offense is going to do. Do you see it the same way? Do you think Atlanta is ripe for the slaughter, so to speak? Or do you think that we're in big trouble? Do you think we're going to have problems? And if you do, where do you see that happening?
I got a lot of thoughts on this. I think Atlanta is staggering. I mean, the one game they won, they barely squeaked out against the Giants. I think this is a team that is on the ropes. They've been dealt a few good right jabs to the jaw. They're teetering and they're just ready to fall. So I think it's time for this offense to put together 4 quarters of success. We've seen 1 quarter, 1.5 at the most. It's time for 4 quarters of successful offense. We still only have 10 points in the first half of the season. It's time to get an early lead. Let's get some prosperity going. And looking at Atlanta's defense, they lost Isaiah Oliver, who's their slot cornerback, to a torn ACL last week.
Right.
That's a pretty big loss. So Jameson Crowder, even a Braxton Berrios, maybe Elijah Moore. I'll be interested to see how LaFleur utilizes him. Will it be the slot? Will it be outside? And also, how many plays is he going to get? And Atlanta hasn't generated too much of a pass rush. The only player they have with multiple sacks is Dante Fowler with 2. And the Jets' offensive line has been pretty good with pass blocking this past week. George Fan, do you know that George Fan has an 8.4 pass blocking grade since he took over for Becton? The only offensive lineman who has a better left tackle with a better pass blocking grade is Charles Leno of the Bears. Fant has the second best pass blocking grade in the NFL since he came in. Who would have thunk that? But it's
I don't know. I find that hard to believe. That's interesting.
It's strange. Hey, Nani reported it. I'll trust Michael Mania pretty well. You know, he knows. He knows
his stuff. He knows his stuff.
He's not football than I'll know.
Yeah. So let me ask you
But
guys this.
I will go.
Oh well,
I'll
real
bring
quick.
2 more things.
Well, wait. We'll get back. I want to on that point, and we could do it quickly. And we'll start with you, Adam. Actually, when Becton comes back, are you keeping Fant in there, or are you putting Becton in there?
You have to play Becton. I'm sorry. Becton is a guy you drafted to be your franchise left tackle. I don't want to hear any more talk about him moving to right guard. I don't want to hear about it. If you want to move to guard, fine. But get this left tackle to right guard crap out. Enough of it.
Yeah. So what do you think, Ali? When Becton comes back, if Fant's rolling, do you just keep it going, or do you put Becton back in?
No, you put your guy back in. That's going to be your left side wall, right? With Elijah Vera Tucker. That's the dream, right? Elijah Vera Tucker and Becton being that wall, and you're the savior for Zach Wilson's life. Like, yeah, those guys are going to be there. So yeah, there's no.
I think I agree as well. I mean, look, it's hard to shake up something that's really working. Like if they're just one of the better offensive lines in the world or in the league at that point, it's definitely hard. But I still think you take Becton and you put him in. Fant's not the long-term answer, no matter how you slice it. So Adam, go to your other point. What was it?
Okay, 2 quick things I want to point out. First, the DVOAs. I'm going to go through each one for you. So offense, Atlanta's 31, as I mentioned. The Jets are, where else? 32. Defense, Atlanta is 29. The Jets are 18th. I even included special teams on this one for you, okay? We went above and beyond this week. Special teams, the Jets are 20. Just because I thought it was funny that they actually rated this, but they did. Jets are 20th. Atlanta, 32.
Really?
Guys, this team, Atlanta, they stink, okay? This isn't if ever you could favor the Jets in the game, this is the one. And the other thing that I've heard almost nobody else talk about, Jeff Albright. He came from Atlanta. He was their defensive. He was coaching defense for them. He knows these guys. He knows their strengths. He knows their weaknesses. This is a team we can jump on early and cruise to victory if we know what we're doing and we come out prepared and ready to play. Go Jets. We'll win.
Well, Adam, the Falcons are 3.5 point favorites in this game. So I don't know if they agree with you, man. Why do you think they're doing that?
Poppycock.
Poppycock.
Poppycock. This ain't no happenstance. It's just happenstance. That's all that is.
That's it, right. There you go. Right. And Frankie chimes in and says our overall DVOA is 20 plus points better than Atlanta. So look, it really does seem like a game that we have the opportunity to come out and restart our season. Last week was hard fought. We squeaked out the victory in overtime after being behind the whole thing. And if we come out and take advantage of this opportunity, it really is it has the potential to jumpstart our entire season, especially going into the bye, man. So listen, Adam, I appreciate it, man. That's some good stuff. Did you have more stats or anything for us before I let you go?
I mean that was the main stuff I wanted to make sure I got out. One
Awesome.
interesting note: neither of these teams has an interception on defense yet. Maybe it's time. Maybe that's going to end this week. Neither defense has an interception.
Oh wow, I know, right? That's interesting. We got a whole bunch of sacks, but no picks.
No picks
That's okay.
yet.
That's okay. Yeah, I think this is the week. So, all right, Adam, thank you, man. Watu-K99, I appreciate it. Always awesome. And I'll see you in a minute, bud. Thank you.
You got it.
So there he goes, Adam, with the stats. I love it. Before we wrap this up, Ali and then everybody in the chat, I want to get some score predictions from you. Let me know who's going to win and what you realistically think the score is going to be. But first, I'll turn it over to Ali and see what he thinks. So what do you got? It sounds like you got the Jets winning, but what do you think the score is going to look like?
I'm going to go with 24-13 Jets.
24-13 Jets. That'd be pretty nice.
I think I just this is a game that the Jets should go out and be like, I want to win this football game, and this is an all gas no break type win. You know, you got to go in and go down the field and score points. I don't care if it's a field goal. I don't care if it's a touchdown. Score points. That's you got to take advantage and got to put the Falcons defense on edge because they are struggling. They've struggled all season, and right now your offense looks pretty good, pretty damn good. And this is a game that if you want to get the run game started, you get the run game started this game.
That's great point.
If you want to win this football game and cruise past the Falcons, get the run game going. Zach Wilson will have this awesome game or whatever it is, but if the Jets getting the run game is very important, especially in this offense, LaFleur offense. This Shanahan system relies on the run game, and the Jets just have not gotten the run game going. They've had a couple runs. Michael Carter's had some good runs. Kevin Coleman last week had a couple good runs, but it just hasn't been consistent so that we can keep using it. This is a game that they just need to pound the ball, get that run game going, and then that will make the play action go pretty well. Just Zach Wilson looking more comfortable. The offensive line will be more gelled, and this offense will just look much better to watch on TV and for fan-wise and just overall as the offense. So I think that's the key of this game. If they get the run game going, they get early in the game because the offense needs to click. We always come so late in offense, and that's why we struggle for the rest of the game. They need to come out of the gate and be ready. Have a game plan against the Falcons. We have a connection with Ulbrich, knowing the Falcons a lot better than a lot of other people, a lot of other teams do. So we have a little bit of an advantage of that. And they are missing a lot of key pieces, like a star cornerback. So if they can somehow take advantage of that, maybe take a shot with Corey Davis down the field, whatever, just get some points on the board, at least on the first drive. That's a momentum killer for the Falcons because the Falcons are dead meat right now. They are dead meat with Calvin Ridley not making the trip, Gage not making the trip, their star cornerback not being there. They're literally dead. So I think the Jets need to take advantage of that right off the gate and just show that their presence, that we came to London, we're taking the business and going back home with the one.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think that you are so right. Like, this is the week to really get the run game going. Like, of course, we want to take some shots and obviously, keep Zach going. But this is the week to get Michael Carter and Ty Johnson going. Let's get some serious run yards. Let's get the offensive line all dialed in on how to block and can, keep the run game effective. I think that would be a beautiful way to keep the clock and keep it out of their hands as well. Just lots of time management, keep our offense on the field, keep our defense fresh. And that would be an awesome way to get this victory. So we got some scores checking in. Big Green 35-17. I like that. Watu-K chimes in 27-16. You said 24-13, right, Ali? Is that what your score was? Joey Venezia says 34-24 Jets, I imagine. Cravat checks in 38-16.
Whoa.
Jeez. FOC, follower of Christ, says 27-17 Jets. Big Arms checking in 21-14 Jets. I like that. Postman 31-17. I like that too. Johnny P 24-15 Jets. 15. I think what he's saying is one touchdown, then they try to start coming back and get a 2-point conversion on us, maybe. That's what, yeah. 28-15, 24-15. Terry Monroe says, okay, that was something else. All right. Sorry, Braden Bethwaite. What's up, Braden? Says 31-17 Jets. Joey Venezia changed his score. He said there, oh, no, it's same score. Just put it twice. He wants to make sure I saw it. I like that. Chris DiNardo says, nice job, Wat2K99. Jets score on first possession. C. Kimball 28-9. I like that. That's kind of where I'm going. I'm thinking a nice 27-7, 27-10 kind of a thing. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't want to get crazy, though, you know. Dark Soldier says 28-17 Jets. Mr. Wreck 31-17 Jets. I love it. This is good. I haven't seen anybody pick the Falcons yet, Wally. This is kind of strange for me. Slaugo says 28-17. Emanon says 27-9. Nick Hunter 26-17. And on and on. I just got knocked out of here. Hold on. Where was I? Nick Hunter, there it is. Kevin Vafadoost says 28-3. Terry Monroe 24-21. No one is picking the Falcons. This is making me, I don't know if I feel really awesome about it or if I just got a twinge of anxiety. I don't know what that feeling was, Ali. I think it feels weird.
It feels weird that we're rooting for the Jets. That's why. We haven't rooted for the Jets in like 2 years.
I know. It's the craziest thing. MPC 24-10 Jets. And I think that's it. We got some more down here. You guys are awesome. Rockaway Archie checked in 34-10 Jets. Hank 24-14. And wrapping it up, Kareem Mitchell 14-0. Oh, I do see one more. Where'd it go? Well, Kareem Mitchell has a couple. Corrects it to, he says on second thought, 17-3. And I thought I saw one more, maybe. Ethan says 24-21 Jets. A little closer in Ethan's world. And then Nico chimes in with our comedic relief 0-0 tie. There you go.
There you go.
So, hey, Tyson, you have food poisoning. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But he's just letting us know he can relate to Mims. And he says, hey, guys, this isn't any joke. 42-7 Jets, though. I like it. So, hey, Ali, man, I want to thank you for hanging out, dude. This was great. You want to let anybody know about anything you got going on or where to find you?
Yeah. So I actually just announced today that I'm creating a new Instagram page, which is covering New York sports. So I'm going to be doing news and stuff. It's called Loyal Network. I haven't posted anything yet on it, but this weekend I'm brainstorming like ideas and stuff. So Sunday, I believe I will start posting on there. So if you are interested, it's called Loyal and Network. And then on my page, I just do my stuff. We're doing a lot more things on there. There's going to be a lot more polls. There's going to be a lot of merchandise that we're selling and stuff. Memorabilia, a lot of player stuff that I'm doing. I am trying to get a couple more players on the page and on the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel I'm trying to be a lot more active on. My website, official loyalnetwork.com, is also live. I've been doing a lot more articles on there. So, yeah, it's been busy because the Jets are finally winning football games. So there's a lot more content for us to put out there as content creators, which is really fun to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate everyone supporting me. I really do. It's been the last 2-3 weeks I have been sick because I got COVID. So I was really like down the drain for a while and not doing podcasts and stuff for a while because I just couldn't. Because I did get hit pretty hard and I still have that cough. That's why I was coughing through the stream. So I still have the effects of COVID. So, I'm recovering slowly. So, and getting back to the groove of things. And, when I got COVID, I actually realized I was just like, there should be more to life. I got that motivation again to do more stuff. So like
makes you think, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was in quarantine and I was just sitting in a room for like 6 days straight, and I was just like, damn, I should be doing other stuff. And I was just thinking of ideas, and I'm just like, let's just do it. Like, just do it. Like, that's how I did my Jets page when I started when I was 14. And I'm just like, let's just do some more. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fun journey. It's gonna be a long journey. So for the new page and stuff. So I'm excited
Hell
actually.
yeah.
So yeah, I thank you guys for all the support. And again, thank you for having me on the stream. It was a blast, man.
Yeah. Well, look, man, see, dude, he's dropping some real wisdom. It's like, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, stop dragging your ass, stop wasting time, stop trying to be perfect before you move forward. Just do it. And you will see, starting the journey is the hardest part. Once you got one foot moving, the next thing you do is put the next one, and you just end up where you're going. And it's a good thing to live by. And I thank you for dropping that on us, Ali. I want to just say one more thing. Eric Craig says, whoever scores first in this game, the other team will get the first pick in next year's draft. So if that should be accurate, that's pretty friggin' scary. So we got to win. We got to win this game. I don't want the first pick this year. I don't want it. But hey, Ali, thanks again for being here. Don't forget, loyal New York Jets fans, Ali, he's the real deal, guys. So I thank everybody in the chat. You guys are the absolute shit. You're all my best friends. I just mean that. I think I just love hanging with you, and I appreciate it. So we're going to bounce out of here. Let me just see here. Okay. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks again. I'll leave you with this.
There with high pressure in control. Man, that looks great.
Jets, 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 Jets!
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. 78 degrees, Jets football, and we're winning. That's what's going on today. That's why everybody's so psyched. This isn't no happenstance. This is a guarantee, just like Joe Namath said. See that?
There are few things in life you cannot put a price on. Loyalty, tradition, fierce passion. Today is a gigantic family reunion because finally, they're back.